Hello and welcome to the Comedy Hunt on YouTube. My name is Karan Gill. With me today is Gursimran Khamba. Khamba, say hi.
Hi. Okay, so what's going to happen is every Monday we're going to have the guest judges for the week and we're going to have to talk to them about their process. Like I said, we're going to have to talk to. Because honestly we don't, but whatever, bula liya contractual obligation. So this week, our challenge is news comedy, and for that we have our guest judges for the week, East India comedy.
We clap for ourselves.
Applause for ourselves.
So why the focus on news comedy? You obviously do a lot of other sketches across genres, but you also do a TV show around news comedy.
Yeah.
You also do a lot of news comedy on your own channel.
Yeah.
So how come the focus on that?
We liked doing news comedy with the live shows that we were doing. We were enjoying doing the news comedy thing. And we tried doing it on TV actually. We went to a couple of news channels. We shot a pilot with one channel, it didn't work. Shot a pilot with the next channel, it didn't work because obviously on TV there's so much censorship. You can't say anything.
So then finally
we came to YouTube to do news comedy. And it was good fun, man. It's good fun. We like writing news comedy because topical jokes work better for us.
Yeah.
Was the question here is like, it's hard to write a joke.
Yeah.
You guys.
Very.
Yeah.
Once in a while when you write a joke.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you do a news joke, that goes that joke becomes unusable really fast.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be standing here and saying like, what's the deal with Aam Aadmi Party anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, there's always a deal with Aam Aadmi Party.
80% of my material, man.
I'm sorry, man.
But no, it's
that's
a
the point I was
valid.
trying to make up.
It's a valid point though, because unlike other jokes, it goes away very quickly. So what do? Do you keep writing?
But the virality is also there, no? Because if you talk about something topical, it works way better. The shareability is a lot more if you do it. You know, you guys will know the shareability part, guys.
So give me an example.
I'll give you an example. I wrote this joke about a guy who smuggled 3 kilos of gold in his underwear.
But that is very universal.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. You take universal news topics. Now you read it, oh wow, 3 kilos of gold in your underwear. This is exciting.
Okay,
it's
correct.
news
So
to
you can make a differentiation between like current affairs and something in the news that's not current at all.
Exactly.
It'll just be news from then on.
Yeah.
I had this one set about how they banned SMSs. There was an SMS ban in Bombay. You remember that?
Really?
It was there for it was there for like 5 hours.
Okay.
And I spoke about that for 2 years.
And every month.
Everything is getting banned in India. Like last year there was an SMS ban for 5 hours. You remember? No, let me tell you about that.
He was changing his set, dude. He like last month, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, last year there was an SMS ban.
Okay.
But it
So I'm
worked.
embarrassing,
Because
but ये होता है.
This is the other disclaimer, where to draw the line, when to stop doing that news joke.
No, there should never be a line that.
But see,
if you're talking about politics, our politicians, repeat those same mistakes again and again. So actually, you can pull that set for like 3-4 years.
Correct, or you
on
can
and on.
preempt a joke.
Yeah, you should do
You
that,
can
yeah.
That's true. Like
joke futures.
You know, politicians say stupid things. You know who said the stupid thing? Baba Ramdev. And come back to 3.
that's what
That's what I realized. That's why I have no other new joke.
That's my
entire
set.
set. That's my entire set. Lots
Why
of
not?
stupid things are happening in India these days.
Yeah.
For example, SMS ban.
People are like, what?
Yeah, it works.
Fill in the blanks with random politicians. Just you have the set format ready for your news.
So now what happens on the TV channel? I remember you were telling me this was very interesting. I want to ask you, interesting genuinely, is that you said you literally write your show, which you do on TV, which is a news comedy based show, in like 48 hours.
Yeah.
That you essentially sit in the studio and
Yeah.
come up with all your jokes. What is that?
So the show is supposed to go up on Thursday night. So we're supposed to shoot on a Tuesday. So Sunday and Monday we just lock ourselves in that conference room. We literally live there. 7 of us will just sit together with laptops, finalize the news topic and just write for 2 days. And it's damn irritating, but at the same time the results are awesome later. So those 48 hours you're just dying because you're constantly trying to read up online. You're asking the researchers to give you some videos, sample references, speak to more people because you don't know much about it. A lot of times I picked up a topic that I didn't know much about. So I literally call up my dad sometimes and say, okay, do you know about this shit?
Papa, koi jokes hai?
Papa jokes hai though.
कुछ चुटकुला के आपको
Puts out his WhatsApp messages. He's like,
Like,
beta,
hello,
ye
Papa,
try
see
kar lo.
And that's why the Papa is here too.
Papa
This
is-
guy reads the
Hello,
newspapers.
Papa.
These guys read Twitter.
Yeah, that's true.
So you'd be surprised. I get like WhatsApp videos of you guys. Like my mom will send me like this very funny. It's like I know these guys.
What are you
Subscribe,
saying?
you know.
Oh,
Does she say
trending.
subscribe also?
Huh?
She should say subscribe.
No, basically I want to say my mom is pirating your videos.
Is she?
So
At
we should do
least somebody's
something
watching,
about
so it's.
Yeah.
it. Anyway, yeah, you were saying.
What that means is actually why it is useful, I think, for the people watching it is because even with the comedy hunt, it's a very quick turnaround time. Literally, like once the challenge is given, they have within a week to write, conceptualize, shoot it, and then edit and put it out there.
I think one of the things also is you should not overthink it because you waste a lot of time thinking, oh my god, is it going to be funny? But with news comedy specifically, it's like you have 48 hours to just make it or break it. So just pick a topic, go all out, and just.
If you were to then give, say, quick 5 points, or if not 5, then 3 points, whatever, which these guys need to keep in mind when they shoot
News comedy.
Yeah. What are those points that they need to keep in mind?
So first of all, obviously, it has to be funny. Look at the funny element of it. Do great research. Just don't, come up with, the low hanging fruits, so and so. So just go further, go deep down, go references here, there, and, get out. Dig for the guy in the past, see if it's something he would have said.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And
I think the other thing is find any random news topic, dude. It doesn't have to be the news topic, like just about Rahul Gandhi. You can talk about, like as he said, like that guy carrying like gold in his chaddis.
Right,
It's still funny. There are a lot of random topics. Just open the newspaper, there are like 78 headlines. Just pick up one which you find funny. It could be something bizarre also, and you can find a lot of funny stuff.
Right.
Make sure whenever the video that you come out, it's crisp, because in news there's a lot to talk about. Every day there will be stuff. So yesterday I'll write an entire bit, and then today suddenly the news changes, which does not work in my favor. But if it's my opinion, I'll keep it crisp. That's it, because you want to just go on talking.
Can you give an example about this? Like, this is a very pertinent thing, but has it happened to you specifically?
So we were doing the sketch with Sushant Singh Rajput and Anand Tiwari for Byomkesh Bakshi. It was like a pseudo promotional sketch, and the whole sketch was about them being detectives and finding out who the killer is. And the ending we thought was a very interesting one, where they find out that
It was you're violating Section 66.
Section 66A was the ending. That guy finds out that this dead body was violating 66A, and they arrest the dead body because of that. And we thought it's a genius idea. We convinced everybody. Dude, we convinced Yashraj, which you couldn't.
Oh, shots have been fired.
Just saying, that's the level we went to. Like we're like, abhi ye acha idea le lo. They're like,
You know why?
finally.
Because हम pseudo promotion नहीं करते.
Yeah,
Sorry,
outright
string यहाँ
promotion
पे
करते हैं.
So we went to that extent where we like finally came up with an idea which everybody liked. We were like, Section 66A is cool, guys. We'll make it happen. This will go viral because this is a news topic. We didn't read the news and we realized that the Supreme Court verdict came out one day before the video was supposed to go
there
on
was
air.
like it was.
And the ruling was against this thing, and our video didn't work at all because
I think we should watch the video just in case there are people watching this who don't get the context. So,
This is
Private Detective ex NYPD.
Public Detective, KLPD, currently. Kurla Local Police Department.
क्या तुमने ये खून किया है?
नहीं साहब, मैंने तो आज तक चिपकली भी नहीं मारी।
Breaching Section 66A is the biggest crime in this country right now.
21 years rigorous imprisonment by death, and with at least 3 daily screenings of Gunde.
You are under arrest. I will not let you tamper with the evidence again.
अबे ये नमक है बे?
Drugs.
अबे टाटा.
Tola.
Iodized.
This is going to be a difficult case.
video.
That's great. That's great.
but when that happened, did you try and see how you could change it in terms of, did you try and fiddle with it?
So there was an option. We thought that okay, we could just edit this part out, this 30 seconds bit, but everybody was like, no dude, 66 is a hot topic, people will get it, just put it out there. So we just went with the gut, okay.
If you've made an entire video with the ending based on a news topic, you can't
if
just
I removed
randomly
that,
end
it would have been much weaker maybe.
You can't add a title card saying, just
kidding.
Yeah, just kidding. There was supposed to be an ending, but we don't have one. We can't say that.
It's an interesting one, because in my head I know that we would have had a conversation saying we should put out a slide saying we shot this 1 week before and lag gayi.
We did that also. We did not exactly ke lag gayi, but
Not
we
exactly,
did. We said this was something that 1 week ago, and
We
Section 66A was still valid.
We did put on those slides like 2 weeks later this happened and like.
Well, actually, I would shoot the entire thing and then just do a piece to camera separately. Hi, with like piano music going. I wrote this sketch last week, but since then things change. But you know, people change.
Feelings with Yash Raj nahi hai. Sushant Singh Rajput ka film release. No, but actually, you know what? If you do your own sketch, you can still reshoot and edit. But
Yes,
when you're doing something like that, which is an integration,
Yeah.
the stakes automatically become so high.
Yeah.
Because then you have to fucking keep in mind so many people.
No, and also the scale of the sketch was insane. Like
Yeah.
it was our biggest, like
Super well
we used a
shot.
Red Epic camera, we built that set. So there was no way you could go back and shoot. It was not against a white wall that you could just shoot the ending again.
Or like shoot an alternative ending where you become Sushant Singh Rajput with long hair and I'm like, Sushant? Section 66A is...
I'm just saying absurdist. That's true.
Yeah. So that's where we lost the news comedy thing.
And
backfired.
and has the reverse happened? Where, say for example, you've shot something, but the news has changed in your favor, and because of that, it has gotten like a bigger push or something like that.
What?
No.
Sex ed would be an example,
Sex
but
ed
not
would be an
exactly.
example, but not
Sex
just
ed,
a-
I think, is also an interesting example. I think one video that you guys did, which I think is really interesting in terms of how you capitalized on a current news topic, was sex ed in India, which is also one of your biggest videos.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was a
let's
big
check
video.
it out.
Sa say sex. Sex. Sex.
This is the male reproductive system. This is the
What is homosexuality?
homosexuality, nahi, homo sangam. New syllabus says
These are a gift from God.
exactly.
So tell me about the process of writing out this particular sketch.
So this was essentially, I think, our first proper sketch that we got into. Otherwise, we were just like fucking around on YouTube. We had no idea what to do. I think that news came out where the health minister announced that sex education should be banned and this thing. Azim called up saying, dude, let's just write a video about this. Let's just write and see what happens. And I think we just sat and wrote a sketch and everybody collaborated on that. And we realized that none of us are good actors, obviously. So we couldn't pull it off. So we approached Anand Tiwari and he loved the script. And we just pulled all the favors possible. We shot in a random school in like Masjid Bandar, which was
Owned by Azim's dad is a trustee.
Azim is a trustee, by the way. So basically, the process was quite swift on that one. Like within 14 days, we released the video. From the time the news broke out, in 14 days the video was out. And it had surprisingly some kind of an international appeal, I think, because that was one video that was shared by Al Jazeera, BBC, and all those people, because we're like, oh, this is what sex education in India generally is like. So let's talk about that. So the topic was really hot, 14 days, and then it broke out internationally.
Even
So
Pornhub tweeted.
Pornhub tweeted.
Pornhub
that.
tweeted. That was the best thing
That was
ever.
the best thing ever.
Like,
Dude. They wrote to us saying, great video, thank you for the mention.
If you do your research well and if you time it right,
Timing
in
is-
terms of when a news story is still
Yeah.
particularly hot,
Yeah.
then it makes sense.
Also,
to
it was a very standard thing of that it was, we were going against the government, which is something that everybody loves. Like, it was, you're not standing against one political party or something. It was like against the government kind of a thing. So everybody like, yeah, man, government, let's all
Great, because
we
yeah,
stand
news
together.
stories in that sense give you the chance to voice a very popular public opinion,
Yes.
which
Yes.
everybody shares,
Yeah.
and that has a reach, like that has possibly international.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's one of the main reasons why people were sharing it. Also, like, oh right, this is a valid point. You know, they
This
are
is what
right.
we
they
were
are right.
thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we were
It's
thinking.
kind of what happened with It's Your Fault as well.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
so
big
that's exactly what
internationally.
happened.
How do you make that distinction? Because I think with news comedy, there's also a very interesting trap that you might fall into, which is that in order to make the point, do you sort of have a conversation that,
happened with
Arey, it's not funny enough, Arey, but the point is more important. Like, do you have
It
that
backfired
conversation?
once. It backfired once when, on the bottom line, I wanted to do an episode about midday meals in India. Because I was like, this is a very tragic issue and I want to talk about it. I did a lot of research about it and we shot it and I got a lot of hate on that purely because I was making fun of the food that they were providing. So I was like, what the fuck is this food? And I was doing some jokes about that. And everybody thought that, oh my god, this guy is so cheap. He's a rich guy making fun of the poor people eating that food.
Right.
So it backfired in that sense where I thought it's popular opinion. I'll get a lot of support, but full hatred.
Like even for like I did one on ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, you know,
Right,
like
right,
it's stuff like that. You want to make fun of. I mean, I wasn't making fun of the entire challenge. I was making fun with everyone else who hopped onto the challenge bandwagon and all the different challenges that were coming up. You think that okay, this is contemporary. You'll talk about it. People are like, okay, right, this is what we feel, but it's not like that.
If you were to do a sketch on the planet Pluto, what would you do? This is our version of Coffee with Karan's rapid fire. Rapid news comedy.
Can we also use our phones for this?
No.
So the rules of this are,
Huh.
you have to try and come up with what angle would you do a video or a sketch on one of these ideas.
Pluto flyby is something that happened.
They fired Pluto as a planet a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Huh.
And now it's almost like they want to get him back. So they're going back to him. So it's almost like a re-recruitment kind of a thing. So I would go probably with that kind of a sketch.
Or like a rebound.
Well,
like a
they
rebound.
actually flew by, so it's like a double diss.
Yeah.
You remember us? Bye.
Like one of those.
That's the whole
That's the
thing.
angle.
The angle that you said, that's the angle we
video.
take.
What if Pluto was?
Just Pluto like,
I'm sitting here in outer space. I'm so sad. Hey, look, it's a satellite. Oh.
पहले तुम्हें planet होता था.
I love how you've given an animation suggestion. In 3 days, guys, turn it around.
Yeah.
That's
I
all
can
you need
animate
to
in
do.
15. No, all you,
But
you don't
you
need to
know,
do an
if
animation.
Pluto was a
Do it
person,
in PowerPoint with
Yeah,
transitions
like what
and
if
all.
Pluto was a
Yeah.
person?
What if Pluto was a person
Like
kind
what
of
if
a thing?
Google was a guy types?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
If Pluto was a person,
We were
that's
just
great.
talking about
Yeah.
a clip, right, where Manmohan Singh was standing and Sonia Gandhi just passed by and didn't give a fuck about it at all. That's Pluto right now. That's exactly
So
what
you can make it a social thing that happens. Have you been
Yeah.
Plutoed?
Yeah.
done.
That's funny.
People fly by you all the time.
Chalo. Next news topic.
Alright.
Please
my God.
prepare yourself.
Vijender Singh wants to be first Indian to win pro boxing title. Pro means he wants to go to America.
So basically, he wants to do corporate shows, not public gigs.
Basically. Next.
Volcanic eruptions slow down global warming. Study.
So there's this volcano that's depressed in the middle of the ocean, okay? And he's crying non-stop. Okay, he's crying non-stop and the ocean levels increase. So global warming is conquered that way.
ये already Pixar की movie है.
Why does he keep saying volcano?
It's volcano, right? I always say volcano. Volcano.
It reminds me of that Rishi Kapoor in Luck by Chance. Volcano of talent. It reminds me of volcano.
But yeah, it's a good idea. That's what I would do.
The premise should be like, if suppose you're doing it, so
Right.
so you think that across the spectrum people should know about this issue, you know?
Because global warming is something nobody
No,
knows
no,
about.
not about global warming, any other topic. Like, you know, generally, like, if we talk about Salman Khan, you know, everybody knows about him. So, I'm
correct.
saying, if we just talk about some random thing with, you know, 4 people on Twitter have heard about it, then that's really an issue.
Okay.
Okay, so that concludes our competition.
But I think it was a valiant effort.
Yes.
Thanks. That
On
was a
behalf
very...
of Atul sir, who genuinely gave good advice.
Yes.
And very poor effort on behalf of Sahil, who basically just did a lot of bad pronunciation.
Yes. Volcano.
And in the middle, Sapan's trying to keep it together and saying,
I'm like, guys, focus.
point मैं दे देता हूँ.
Which explains group dynamics.
I want to then speak to you about what are the biggest misconceptions people have when they talk about news comedy. Like, for example, right now, this news comedy challenge in this particular week, people are going to make a lot of videos. What do you think are the misconceptions they should try and avoid?
I think one of the biggest misconceptions when you start doing news comedy is that don't think that you are a news anchor. You know, don't put a desk and sit behind the desk and say, all right, put this just in, and then, you know, try to think that it's a new studio that you're creating. Some people just put up like a white wall at the back. No, I'm saying a white wall. A white wall. It's different, guys. It's different. But like some people just get into this news mode that consider themselves as reporters and consider themselves to be a set. But no, news comedy could be anything. It could literally even be a video of you talking to people about their opinions about the news. It could literally be as simple as that.
It could be, it doesn't have to be the same boring, like wearing a suit behind a news desk kind of a setup. You can be young and like, you know.
I just want to intercut with photos of both of you wearing
Yeah,
a suit.
I was going to just say that.
Yeah.
So we're
also
changing
me
that.
and Rohan.
Yeah.
Everyone, we should do an intercut.
Just be.
But you can fuck around with that. Yeah, you can do
Yeah.
that. I think the other thing that is very interesting is that when we talk about news comedy, it doesn't always have to be about something that just happened. You can preempt an issue that is coming up or something that's coming up.
That's true. That's also a very important point. It
like
doesn't
the
have to be
independent-
about a topic that's hot right now,
Yeah.
but a topic that you know will come up every year.
An event is coming up, the Olympics is coming up, or the football World Cup is coming up. Independence Day is coming up, so make a video about that if you want to. So that's something great because you get more time that way. Like if
Sapan just gave out their next video.
Yeah.
I actually did.
Yeah.
Another really controversial video. Actually, I don't want to sound like a
Now
news
you're
anchor
fucking-
now.
Yeah.
Especially me saying it. It's a little ironic. But one video that you did was a video called Wrecking God. Before we
Yes.
actually start talking about it, I think we should watch the video just in case there are people watching this
Sure.
who don't get the
Sure.
context. So,
This is.
They scream, they shout, they dance about like Salutans on cocaine. I cannot take these festivals. Why can't people just act civil? They don't even have dancing skills. It's like voluntary epilepsy.
Disclaimer.
This is just a parody. We still love our country.
video.
That's great. That's great.
Okay, so this is really interesting. Actually, one, it answers the question where people said that we don't have expensive cameras. Though you shot this whole thing on a smartphone, you didn't need like fancy equipment to be able to shoot this, and it came across great. This is also something interesting from a news perspective because this video specifically spoke about mostly processions that happen, especially in the city of Bombay. So people,
we didn't target any religion. We didn't say procession.
Correct. But if you live in Mumbai, and I think in most cities, a lot of people, I think, somehow get mad in terms of whenever processions happen because they block traffic, etc., etc. In fact, it's interesting from the perspective now because the courts have now said that you can only if you don't have a fundamental right to worship anywhere on the streets.
Yes, they've now said it.
They've now said that. So this video looked at that particular issue. And you got a little bit of hate for it for this particular video. So how did you choose to do this video? And because this is also, I feel, one of those news topics that happens every year.
It's that season of festivals that was coming up. So we thought we'll write a song which, as we all are always angry about this whole procession thing. And the idea was to try to make it slightly edgy, but at the same time not mentioning the gods or mentioning the religion. Because I think we wrote 4 different kind parodies for this. First we wrote a Backstreet Boys parody for this. Then we wrote some another, I don't know what.
We had done Kesha ka TikTok.
We did Kesha ka TikTok. We did a parody. So we tried different ones, and the first one was much edgier, where we were literally naming the gods and naming the events, but then we didn't want to die. So we dropped. We wanted to
like one of the most important things that you can take away from this video and everything else, especially when you're talking about news comedy, is that the entire goal of news comedy is to open up conversation and discussion, right? Like in the comment section of this, we had a lot of discussion between people saying what we did was wrong, between people saying like what we did was right.
What you guys have managed to do in terms of just doing news comedy, but through different formats on television, live, and also through so many videos, and being able to put around a quick turnaround time. I think for a lot of people who are going to put in their videos on this particular challenge, I think there's a lot to learn for everybody who's done that. So you can pat yourselves on the back for that.
My hand is broken, so somebody else will have to.
Thanks. For being a motivation and an inspiration.
But also see some of the do see the fuck all videos that we made and the ones that didn't work. So you know what not to do with the news comedy also.
So before we wrap up, what is your list of top 5 YouTube channels individually? You can also answer.
I like Nigaiga. I love his videos. I like Last Week Tonight, especially because John Oliver,
Last Week Tonight, obviously,
has to be there.
KL Chaudhary, dude. Have you seen KL Chaudhary?
Yeah, the guy in the webcam.
Genius.
Right.
Genius. Like fucking that's
and then
Baba Sahil.
Any day.
Baba Sahil, KL Chaudhary.
Beam Narula. Fail Army.
Fail Army is also pretty
That is the best thing. Just seeing, it's just people falling down. It's the exactly. I would love. That's my favorite channel of all time.
So now we have 8 of those and Atul's newspapers.
Ladies and gentlemen, on that sad note, this episode ends. We will be back next time with a new challenge and a new guest. Until then, give it up for East India Comedy.
Thank you.
Also remember that on Wednesday, all our news challenge videos drop. So please remember to check back here on youtube.com/thecomedyhunt. Until next time, goodbye.
Bye.
Nobody's checking.
Hello and welcome to the Comedy Hunt on YouTube. This is our first weekly challenge. Now, first of all, before we move on to this episode, we got a ton of entries.
We did. We got what, 1,600 entries? 1,578 entries.
Exactly. From 60 cities all across India.
Yes.